Jeff Mercer.
Coach, 14 strikeouts against the team that just beat Ohio State earlier last week. What does that say about your pitching staff? How they were able to command the zone?
We pitched terrific today. I was really excited for Luke. A really good start. Nate Stahl was outstanding. Did a really good job. And as you see, as those guys just get an opportunity to pitch, and as Coach Gallant, coming from professional baseball, gets a chance to work with those guys and get comfortable, right? Mm-hmm. As they all learn each other and we're able to work our shifts, we're able to execute a lot better. But that's why I never was concerned early. You just have to work through kind of the kinks of everything. But those guys are getting a lot better. They executed a ton of pitches and opened up the strike zone by executing fastballs in and throwing the changeup, and then they're kind of in a tough spot having to cover the extremes of the strike zone, the extremes of speeds, and then we took care of the ball when the ball was put in play. So just a really, really good job on the mound. I thought that was obviously the highlight of the day. And overall, just very, very pleased with them.
Mm-hmm. Coach, do you think you'd use this type of pitching stuff over the weekend? This type of pitching usage? It's
been a conversation. Just limiting guys' exposure that second time to the lineup is something that we've discussed doing. You got two really good starts this past weekend from Perkins and Bramer, and so if we need to do some of the things to limit guys, that's the importance of getting young guys on the mound in the midweek, getting those guys just comfortable and being able to use it. But yeah, I do think there will be a point in time where our bullpen will be a strength again as it was last year, and then to get those guys out there and not make guys go through the lineup a second or a third time if we're not able to do so.
Coach, Brock Tibbetts is swinging it really well so far to start the season. What are you seeing in his approach?
Well, he's really quiet in the box. He doesn't ever take wild or uncontrolled swings. He's very physically gifted and talented, obviously, but he matches a great physical ability with a really good approach and a really good commitment to the middle of the field, and he homers off speed pitches when they're hung. But Brock's the guy that is unafraid to train. When you go in the cages, Brock's in there at all times, and he's challenging himself. He's got the machine turned up. He's got breaking balls going, and so there's nothing that he's going to see in a game that he hasn't seen 1,000 times in the cage. And so when you have a guy that's unafraid to compete and unafraid to get in there and challenge himself, the game slows down for him. And he's got a really slow heartbeat, which is probably about the best compliment I can give a guy. You look at guys of the past, look at like Elijah Dunham and Matt Lloyd, some of those guys that have a slow heartbeat. I'm not saying he's that player yet, but you saw some guys with a slow heartbeat, and he's got a slow heart.
Coach, offense has been scoring a lot of runs recently. What have you seen from them in their hot streak?
Well, there's a variety of things. One, we're not expanding the strike zone, which is the base foundation of a good offense, and then we can hit fastballs. If you can get a guy in the strike zone and then hit a fastball, it makes it really hard. There's not really anywhere to go for a pitcher. And then on top of that, we have some physically gifted and talented players. So guys that are strong and twitchy and athletic, you get them in the strike zone, don't allow them to expand with the breaking ball, and then if you can hit a fastball, everything opens up. And so those are things that we've really, focused on in our recruiting and preach in our training every day. And then you're seeing those things start to show themselves on the field. And with a primarily new lineup, it takes a little bit of time for those guys to get comfortable and kind of get settled in. But you're seeing them have really good at bats now. And I also think the base running has been a really nice plus. We've got the athletes to do that now, and those guys can run. And when you can run legitimately, you're trying to steal bases. That threat, it splits the pitcher's attention. And when his attention is split, you get crippled pitches. You get balls obviously thrown to the plate. You get errant throws at first base. It's just the base stealing and the base running has opened up a lot of the offense for us too.
Coach, in the last 4 games, just to build off the offense, you guys have done a really good job of sort of striking first and having a really big first inning. Can you just expand on the importance of that?
Well, Coach Weatherford does our scouting reports and does a great job of preparing those guys for what's coming in that game. And if you look at pitchers, they have a difficulty oftentimes with their first inning. It's just across the board. They have jitters. They're excited. They want to get out and get off to a good start. They kind of feel their way through the first inning oftentimes. And if you can force them into the zone and execute your offensive plan, that's your best opportunity to strike. And did that again today. And then as the bullpen comes in, obviously they had 3 different pitchers in the first inning, so that makes it a little bit more difficult when you don't know who's throwing and what do they have, and it's a totally different profile. And so we have to continue to get better throughout the course of the game of kind of going off script offensively and being able to continue to pressure and put up runs. And I think we will, given some time.
Take 2 more.
How tough is it for Luke Hayden, for a guy to sit in the dugout when you put up 5 runs in the first inning in the cold, to come back out and throw up a 0?
Hopefully it's not too tough, because that means he's got a little cushion for him. But no, it is. Psychologically, you're sitting there kind of watching the game, and those pitchers, they want to get back out there and throw. But Luke really set the tone in the top of the first, right? Get out there and execute pitches, get us back in here quickly. If he goes out there and he labors and he walks 2 guys and gives up a run, it kind of slows the pace from the offensive standpoint. So we executed, got him in, got him out. We're back in the dugout quickly, and Tyler's on with a walk quickly, and then we're off and running. So Luke was terrific. Luke was really, really good, and it was nice to see another start from him, a quality start. But then the bullpen carried it thereafter and did a great job. But yeah, sitting around for a few minutes can be a positive and a negative, but mostly a positive from that standpoint.
Anything else?
Awesome. Thanks so much,
Thanks,
guys.
Coach.
Have an
Thanks,
awesome
Coach.
night. Thank you.